Hello there. For those of you catching this live, you know last night was the State of the Union address. And no matter where you land politically, it's a moment where the leadership steps up and says, here where we are. This is what it looks like. This is what we've done. This is the current state of things. Here's what's working. Here's what's not working. Politics, they often assign blame. And here's where we're going. It made me realize that we have been together in this Elevate group for a year now. Last year in February, I gave a speech, and within 30 days of that, we launched Elevate. Many of you have been here since day one, and I thank you for that. Excuse me. But here's the thing. Now that we're a year into this, what's the state of your union? Just like the president, what are some of your wins? What are some of your challenges over the last year? Do you have data to back it up? Do you feel like your direction is the right one? Where are you stronger than you were a year ago? Where are you stagnant? What promises did you make to yourself but you haven't kept? Here's the thing, you're a leader. And as I've told each and every one of you in some of our one-on-ones, current reality is an acquired taste. So let's begin to break down for you some of the things going on in both your lives and mine, in your business and mine, some of the questions that maybe you have not taken the time to pause and reflect on. What were your goals in 2025? Did you reach them? How close did you get to them? Did you quit before you really started, or did you push and push and push and maybe just missed it, or maybe you completed it early on? Where was your discipline over the last year? Did you do the things that you said you were going to do? Did you keep the promises that you made to yourself? Or did you fall off the rails like you, quote unquote, always do? How many new relationships did you start? And how many of your current relationships did you continue to nurture? And I'm going to ask you the hard one. How about your health and your finances? Are you in a better place physically and financially today than you were a year ago? Or do you feel like you're still on a hamster wheel, both in your health and in your finances? Now, as any good State of the Union, let's talk about what's working. What did you do well over the last year? For us, we were pretty much on point to do leadership lessons every Wednesday. So that went well. What habits are serving us? Putting it on the calendar and making it a rock in the schedule is serving us. How about your business? What's serving you well? What relationships are strengthening? What relationships do you have today that are stronger than they were a year ago? For me, it's been some of my local relationships. Building and nurturing and growing. Now, don't skip the what's working part. So many of us are hypercritical of ourselves, and it's easy to jump straight to the criticism, straight to the need for improvement. And a negative attitude will never produce a positive outcome. So if you immediately go to, oh my gosh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, don't skip the what's working part of the State of the Union. Now, what needs attention? That's the part where improvement takes place, where you will set the direction for your next year here. Where have you drifted? For me personally, I feel like I've drifted here a little bit. I jumped out of the gate, going to do all these things, going to do these courses, etc. Now, you, the market, told me what you wanted based upon downloads or lack thereof, based upon engagement or lack thereof. So it's not always a matter of drift, but some of it is. So where am I drifting? I'm drifting on contacting and following up leads and creating leads and doing the work. I've transitioned into real estate. Real estate requires work. Real estate requires lead generation. Real estate requires follow-ups. The next one, what are you tolerating? As leaders, a lot of times we check out. You know what I've told you earlier on, you can always delegate, but you can never abdicate. And my question is this, what are you tolerating out of fear or out of disinterest, or you just don't want to deal with it? And tolerating those things creates a disconnect in your leadership with the people that are actually doing great work for you. And what needs to be restructured? What are the things in your life and business that are not serving you? Maybe it's schedule. Maybe it's the way your chain of command is organized. Maybe it's your attention to the details like the finances, the P&L, the numbers to know whether or not what you're doing is working. Whatever it is, here's the thing. You can't fix what you won't acknowledge. You can't fix what you won't acknowledge. Let me ask you this question. In the last 12 months, there have been 12 opportunities for you to have one-on-one coaching with either me or Omar. How many have you done? Well, David, I don't know. It's busy. Your schedule. I didn't ask that. I didn't ask the why behind it. I want you to look at the actual data. That answer will tell you a lot. It'll tell you about your priorities. It will tell you about how important this group is to you. It'll tell you about how important personal development and coaching are to you. Like I've said, gyms are not built on the people that show up. They're built on the people that don't. But this is not a gym. In fact, this coaching, trust me, I could be doing other things. But if you're engaged and you want the help, I am here to help. Omar is here to help. When's the last time you looked at your own P&L? Do you know whether or not you're making money? Do you know whether or not you're covering all the obligations? Have you audited your own books? You cannot fix what you refuse to acknowledge. And number 4, in your State of the Union, where are you headed? Every great address ends with a vision. Casting that vision out to the place where people can grab a hold of it and say, we are headed somewhere. Yes. It even works when leading yourself. So ask yourself this question. What will be different by this time next year? What will be different? Will your business grow, or will it just be getting by? Will you be closing it? Will you add staff or subtract staff? What is your revenue goal? How much money will you have made? How many lives will you have impacted? Regardless of what it is that you do, You can set a goal and decide what will be different by this time next year. What policies, keeping with the State of the Union theme, or habits need to change? The president, when he talks about, hey, I'm going to do this, hey, I'm going to do that, and I will be calling on Congress to make sure that. You are your own Congress. What are you going to call on yourself to do to change, to get to the place that you are crafting this vision for? And it may be as simple as, you know what, over the next 12 months, I'm gonna lean into the one-on-one coaching. Or maybe over the next 12 months, I am going to create lead generation. Or over the next 12 months, I am going to get into 5 more rooms to where I can meet new people that could potentially be business partners, customers, clients, etc. Which leads to, what investments are you going to need to make? Time, money, focus. And I'm talking to myself here. I can get easily distracted. I can spend all my time getting ready to do something and never actually doing it. It's an SC in the disc profile problem. But here's the thing. You are both the president and the citizens of your own life. And so you set the direction and you live the results. It's your State of the Union. It is my State of the Union. But after the State of the Union happens, that's when execution takes place. That's when they send the bills to Congress. That's when the executive orders are drawn up. What executive orders do you need to draw up? What changes do you need to make? What legislation do you need to draft? Look, the State of the Union isn't about blame, although it seems like it when you watch it on TV. It's about clarity, it's about courage, and it's about direction. So what is the state of your union? Have all the thoughts entered your mind now? Good. Now, let's get into action. God bless.